Howdy everyone, it's your buddy BP. It is January 29th, 2016, Friday morning, and Zor is in the tower. Where is he? I'm not too sure. I don't think there's anyone in the game world with me at the moment. Dang. That's a little creepy. Well, anyway, let's go see if we can find him. Well, here he is, down here in the little club area, just outside the hangar. Hey there, Zor. Alright, Zor. Show me what you got. What you have this week.
Guardian.
Titans this week will get Empyrean Belicose. It has an intellect and discipline build, with heavy lifting, hands-on, and infusion. Its special ability is anti-grav thrusters. Basically what this does is gives you the Angel of Light perk on Sunsingers. And the way it works is whenever you aim down the sights of your weapon while you're midair, it'll kind of hover in place for like a couple of seconds. And while you're doing that, your shots will be more accurate while you're aiming down the sights as well. So it's actually really nice in PvP. You can kind of like jump over low walls and hover in place and snipe enemies or hit them with like a scout rifle or something. So really good in PvP. In PvE, I wouldn't really bother with it too much. I think you have better options. But in PvP, this is a really fun way to sort of catch enemies off guard. So PDP Titans, definitely consider picking this one up. Hunters this week will get Skyburner's Annex. It also has an intellect and discipline build. Its abilities are hands-on, heavy lifting, and infusion. Its special ability is Versatile Shooter. Heavy weapon kills have a chance to create orbs. And whenever you collect orbs while your super meter is full, you have a chance to get special ammo. I've tried this a little bit out for myself. Of course, that first ability is just basically the Iron Harvest from Defender. Works really well with machine guns and swords. I wouldn't use it with like a rocket launcher. But for those kind of weapons in PvE, that's actually pretty useful. As far as the orbs giving you special ammo, I've tried it and it gives you ammo like most of the time. Like if you're running a shotgun, like I want to say like 80% of the time, at least, when you collect an orb, it will give you like two additional shots, which again is actually not too bad for PvE. Still, I mean, it's dependent on you not using your super, so that's something you have to take into account. So this is actually pretty nice for PvE. It's a really good way to use your hunter supportively. In PvP, nah, I wouldn't bother with it too much. I mean, being able to get extra special ammo is nice, but it's dependent on you not using your super, and you can't really depend on it all the time. And orbs are a little bit more scarce in PvP. But for PvE, it's not bad, and I like the roll on it too. Warlocks this week will get Alchemists Raiment. It has a strength and intellect build. It's actually primarily intellect with a little bit of strength. Its abilities have special ammo loader and heavy ammo loader. And it is built around arc. Its special ability is Iron to Gold. Chance to gain glimmer on primary ammo pickups, and orbs you collect while your super meter is full will gradually recharge your grenades and melee ability. I'm just going to come out and say it, unless you're a collector, don't buy this. I am pretty sure you are not going to enjoy using it. That ability that gives you bonus glimmer, it almost never procs, and when it does, it gives you like a teeny tiny bit of glimmer. It's not worth it. They really need to fix it. It's just so minuscule. You might get like 20 glimmer in a strike, maybe, if you're lucky. I've almost never been able to get it to proc. It's so useless. The second ability about orbs charging your other abilities, actually, yeah, it does work fairly well. I mean, one orb isn't going to fully recharge it, but it will give you a nice big boost. So if you're using something like, I can't remember what the ability is, it's the one on Stormcaller, where if you activate Storm Trance while your other abilities are fully recharged, it'll last longer and recharge your health. That's a really good ability, and this supplements that fairly well, I suppose. I guess it also works well for Sunsingers who are using Fireborn, if you're going to hold on to your super for when you really need it after you've just been killed. So I guess it kind of sort of works for that, but still, regardless, for PvE or PvP, I really can't recommend it. The only truly good thing I can say about it is that it looks really cool. It has this sort of hologram thing, like it's purple when you look at it head on, but when you look at it from the side, it's kind of green. So yeah, it's cool looking. I'll definitely give you that, but I really wouldn't recommend it to anyone except for die-hard collectors. This week we get an exotic weapon instead of an engram, and it is Thunderlord, which is an arc damage machine gun. Its abilities include accurized ballistics, field choke, and linear compensator. Its other perks include feeding frenzy, perfect balance, field scout, and flared magwell. Its exotic ability is lightning rounds. This weapon fires faster and more accurately the longer the trigger is held. You know that persistence ability that you often see on machine guns? Well, that's just basically this. Only it's like much more powerful. It pretty much almost turns it into a laser. Problem, in my opinion, is that I think it takes just a little too long for that ability to proc. You really got to be holding down the trigger, so if you're going to be doing it, you might find yourself going through the whole magazine really quickly. It's got a 49 magazine. The base stats are okay. You know, they're easy to work with. It's got perfect balance, which I like. You have field scout for being able to hold more ammo, and you can boost up the reload speed, plus it has feeding frenzy. So it's a nice set of perks, and it definitely looks cool. It's got all these sort of like little bits of arc electricity flowing around it. You can see, like, if you look inside of the machine gun, there's like little glowing bits. So it's kind of neat looking. I like the aesthetics of it, and it's pretty and it's got a pretty cool ability, I suppose. It's definitely nice in PvE against bosses, but it takes up an exotic slot, and it's also a heavy weapon. And if I'm going to use something like that against bosses, I'd rather be using something like Sleeper Simulant, but that's just my preference. Some people just absolutely love this weapon, and it definitely has its strong points. So yeah, I don't think it's a must-have if you're low on coins, but if you don't have this weapon and you've got the coins to spare, I'd say it's worth picking it up. The Legacy engram this week is body armor. Dang, I was kind of hoping on special weapons. I'm trying to get a Dreg's Promise, believe it or not. They're 29 coins apiece. There aren't very many exotic armors left in year one that haven't been brought back, except for maybe like Lucky Raspberry. So if you really want like Lucky Raspberry, or what's the other one? Purifier Robes. That one's kind of neat. So yeah, you can 29 coins. You get it a random chance to get it if you really want it. I wouldn't do it, but the choice is ultimately up to you. Only you can say if these are really worth it. Also, we have glass needles, 3 coins, 3 motes, 1 exotic shard. You can re-roll your armors, your exotic armors, that is. If you don't like the rolls you get on them, 3 coins, you get 5 of them for 7 strange coins. Oh, and of course, there's heavy ammo synths, 3 for 1 coin. Again, don't do this. Just go to Varric's in the Reef. You'll sell them for a much better price, at least in my opinion. And of course, don't even bother with this moto light thing. I've never really mentioned this because it's pretty much should be common knowledge. You should never do this. I mean, 1 mote for 2 coins. You know, you would have to be a chump, in my opinion, to spend your money on that. And also 23 coins for these drives. I mean, come on. You know, come on, Zor. No one's buying that. No one's buying this. Come on, be real. And I'd say that just about does it for this video. And it's kind of an okay week. That Warlock exotic armor, I definitely would not recommend it. The Hunter armor and the Titan armor, they're okay. And so is that Thunderlord. That Thunderlord is okay. But the Legacy engram, it doesn't interest me. And I mean, it was just not really an exciting week, in my opinion. Well, back to the horrific grind that is the Iron Banner. I certainly can't wait. How about you? What do you think about the gear that Zor has for sale this week? Let me know in the comment section. Also, don't forget to spank that like button if you enjoyed the video. Your support means a lot to me. And as always, y'all be good to each other. And I will see you in the next video.